My name is Keon Batchman. I'm going to give you a little background about myself before we kind of dive into everything. I was a college athlete, played at Mineral area. Then after that, I went to Lindenwood, and then shortly after went to Missouri Baptist, so I played against her still a little bit. And then finished up at Maryville. A little bit about kind of what I like to do. Anybody ever heard of Harry Potter? Mm-hmm. Harry Potter, I read all of the books when I was in high school. I love them. I love reading Harry Potter. Favorite movie by far is Endgame. I don't know who's Marvel or DC, but I'm Marvel all the way. I'm Marvel all the way. But I just want to kind of tell you a little bit about that. But to dive right in, I was a person who grew up without his father being present. Right, I had a father, but he was in prison. And I didn't necessarily know who he was. I went to see him, but I didn't understand who he was to me until he surely got outside of prison. So as I'm dealing with that, once I get to 10 years old, that's when he get released, right? I'm excited. During that whole time, from 0 to 10, I started to have adult tendencies, adult responsibilities I felt. Because he wasn't there, I felt I had to be the protector of the house. It was just me and my mother. So now he's here, right? I could finally be loose. I could finally be a child again. I could finally let my guard down. And then I started to experience certain times with him. You know, got a lot of siblings, and I remember the funniest thing we ever did. We went to the movies. He allowed my older brother to drive, and we almost crashed. Y'all. He was like a go-kart with 2 feet. That's how he would drive. It's 10 p.m. at night. We can't see. Then one of the fondest memories I have. And then shortly after, 6 months after he's released, he got murdered. So now, in a short period of time, I grew from having adult tendencies, and then I go from being loose and free. So now I'm confused, I'm conflicted. I don't know who I am, I don't know how to be. And my mama knew this. She knew that I took on a big toll of trauma and depression at the time, but I didn't understand it. I'm 11. So she decided to take me to therapy. And at that time, I'm hearing words and phrases like you're diagnosed with ADHD and depression and trauma. And as a kid, I'm like, I don't know what these words are. I don't know what it is, right? So I'm like, Mom, I'm cool, but I don't need to experience this anymore. I wanna just dive full-fledged into sports. And that was my outlet for a while. So I just went super hard with sports. And with dealing with sports, I had these other father figures around me that was helping me, but they weren't my father. So I didn't know how to take everything they were saying, because I knew at the end of the day they would be going home and helping their families. And growing up, I don't know if any of you all heard this, I heard that men don't cry, boys don't cry. For so long, I didn't understand if I can be vulnerable. I didn't even understand what vulnerability was until I decided to take that leap for myself. So as I'm going through this time, I decided, I don't want to be here anymore. So I had multiple attempts of ending my life. And I knew after the last attempt that I was here for a reason, that God had a purpose for me, because I didn't try so many times. And now I'm still here. And now I'm up here to be able to tell this story. But I knew I needed a turning point in my life, right? I was like, I have a life worth living. I'm supposed to be here. I have a story. So I decided, let me try therapy again. But this time, let me have a therapist that's aligned with my faith. I'm a big faith person. So I had a therapist that was aligned with my faith, and what she taught me was, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be open, and it is okay to cry. And understanding that, I wound up being around my sisters who were very big in their faith. I see how happy they was in their faith and whatever they were doing in life, even though life was not always good to them. So I was like, I need to change my life. I need to change my perspective. I need to think a little bit different. So I started going through therapy. I started surrounding myself with people who were thinking better and not negative, changing my perspective. So with doing that, I just grew to become somebody who loved life. I love being alive. I love helping others. Like, I found that was my purpose, is to help others, right? So with helping others, I found strength. I found strength in that, and I found strength in being around a select people who wanted to live. And so I decided, I said, what's next for me? What's next? Like, after we do this, what is next for you, Keon? What do we do next? So next, now I'm a public speaker. I'm a mental health advocate, and I'm a life coach. And during that time, glasses was really what got me through whatever I was dealing with. So I decided, let's make a brand called The Funk Apparel. Get it the funk, kind of changing their perspective from being in a funky mood to being somebody who overcomes the funk. And I decided, I want to be bigger than my problems. I want to have a mental health brand that shows that you can turn something that's negative to a positive. So as I come to an end with you all, I hope that you all understand that you're not alone. And I hope my story touch you all to know that there is better ways to deal with what you're dealing with. and to do it with a group of people and not by yourself.